All right, welcome everybody. We all systems go here. Elijah, are we good? All right, great. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming in here tonight and actually taking time to listen to these gold nuggets, because this is a gold mine. What I'm going to share with you tonight has changed my life over the last 25 years. And I want to share that with you, but more importantly, I want to share this, and I want to give a dedication out to some very hard workers. See, we have teams busting all over the country right now, but the deaf community has been very special for me. And it's like somebody just learning that they went blind. It's hard for me to grasp what you guys go through. And, I just learned the last meeting the difference between an interpreter and the sign language and the one that does the typing. I didn't know the difference, okay? And I apologize, but I'm learning. And I'm looking forward to really learning with you guys, because you've really shared a lot of neat things with me that's really been quite humbling over this last year. And I want to give special thanks out to Michael Grimm, who's able to put this broadcast together, which I'm not able to see because it'll be too distracting for me, but I saw what it's going to look like, and it's totally cool. And you guys need to give heads up props to him, because I've never seen anything like this that's ever gone on. And this is going to be big in your community. And, I was real particular on who I needed to follow my trainings. See, and I've ran into a lot of great deaf people. I really have, and you guys are all great. And we've got some great ones. But it was really rare for me, because I had an individual that not only taught sign language, he understood it, but he could talk. So he's really helped me gel to that thing. And when I first met this individual, I was really blown away, because he had the look in his eye. He was a typical Californian that showed up, him and his wife. They were late. They were a lot of different things. But when I got to talk to him, he got this look. And I'll never forget that look. And he's young enough to be my son. I have a son his age, actually. And he had that look of the eye of the tiger. And I've got to be honest, I had no idea what was going on in this young couple's lives, okay? My wife had been working with them, and when I found out what was going on in their lives, I was totally blown away. But more importantly, I watched what happened with Elijah that day. And at the very first meeting, he told me he wanted this. And he wanted this big. And not that any of you don't. I know there's a lot of you that do, and a lot of you that are doing great things with your teams. We have some great leaders and everything. But I could communicate with him. And, and as I got to know him and his wife, Lindy, they became special to me, because I understood what he was trying to do in the certain community. And, we've got some great leaders. Don't get me wrong. We have great leaders in the deaf community. A lot of you that are deaf. And my hat's off to you. I'm going to learn to communicate with you. Mark from New Jersey just promised he's going to teach me sign language. But I didn't want to take time to share this, because, it'd take me a year to learn how to do that. And what I wanted to do is be able to share with you a few things that has gone and changed my life. And I couldn't think of a better person, because I told Elijah, I need you to sign language exactly what I say and not what you presume I say. Because I've already been through this with interpretations this last year with different languages and what have you. Oh, you know what? And it's been unbelievable.
This conference is being recorded.
Oh, okay. It's been unbelievable with what's been going on with all of that. And sorry, guys, I forgot to turn on. I've got multiple things going on here, and let me come back. There we go. And it's been unbelievable as I watch what's happening with this company, and then I watch what's going on. But not just this company. The things I'm going to share with you tonight you're going to be able to go out, and if you have learned to apply these disciplines, yes, disciplines, you're going to find out that it doesn't really matter what company you go and you build, what you do, or anything. But you need to get this clear with any home-based business. And so many people, they get into these businesses and they have no plan. They have no plan of action. They have no map. It's like getting in your car and trying to come to LA to Jacksonville with no map. Yes, you'll get here. When, I don't know. I don't know what traffic you're going to hit. I don't know if you're going to hit construction. I don't know. But if you had a plan, more than likely you're going to arrive a lot earlier. And that is the same thing that goes on in network marketing in the home-based business arena. And so many people enter this business and take it haphazardly. Now, I'm going to share with you a story because it really boils down to the gold nuggets that I'm going to talk to you about. Okay, it really does. I had a gentleman about 25 years ago teach me these disciplines. At that time, I didn't know that these were going to turn into skills. Okay, but these disciplines will turn into skills, and I want you to bear with me because there's nothing magical that's going to happen here tonight. No magic pixie dust, no magic anything. We're going to get inside of here. We're going to get inside of you. You're going to find out what makes Dave Manning tick. You're going to find out why I take this business so deadly serious and what we go and do. Okay? And you're going to really start to understand why I have this saying, say less to go fast. Okay? You're going to really start to understand that. Because so many people, they just don't get it. And those of you that are watching here tonight, you want this, and you want this bad. Some of you have called me with the Verizon or whoever that sign language is, and my hat's off to them people. They do a great job. I don't know what they do, but I know that the messages get delivered right. You know, and I'm watching what's happening with this, and I told Elijah, we've got to get a training out with these gold nuggets. I want to do one check, make sure we're okay. Lindy, Elijah, we okay? Everything good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, we're going to get into some meat and potatoes here, and I'm going to share something with you that I've learned roughly about 25 years ago that's been able to propel us to the top of everything that I've ever done once I put my focus on it. Once our focus is in place, so this is not something that I've just thought up and gone and done. It's brought us the biggest teams. It's brought us the most people with the most checks, the most cars, the most bonuses, all the different things that's gone on with the last things that we've ever done. Okay? But I want you to grasp what I'm talking about here. I met that gentleman, and I was so lucky because I didn't know he was going to be my mentor at the time. I really didn't know. But what happened was I got real excited about a company, and at that time, that company was doing it was a nutritional company, and excuse me, I got real excited about that company, and they had a little drink, and I'll never forget about it. We'd rip the pack open, put it in the water, and boy, you could get real excited with it right now. I said, boy, this is unbelievable. I'm going to get rich. I can't believe it. I'm going to get rich with this thing. This is back in the early 90s this had happened. Well, what happened was the person that introduced me to that put me on with happened to be the owner of that company, who happened to be the #1 earner of another company that was starting this company. I had no idea that any of this was going on. And what happened was he got on the phone with me because they saw something and they knew I was excited. They knew that I wanted this. I had that look, the eye of the tiger. I wanted this. I was 32 years old. Let me give you a little background about me so you can really relate with where I'm coming from. You know, I'm a high school dropout from a little town in New England called Winchester, New Hampshire. I went away. I joined the Army. I got out. I'm a disabled vet. And I worked all kinds of different jobs. You'll hear my wife always explain them. I've done everything of manual labor type jobs, plumbing, construction. I went into my own construction business. I renovated homes. I've done all that different things. I was really unemployable. I had really only a couple jobs. I ever worked for somebody on the clock. The most money I've ever earned by the hour, $6, less than $6 an hour on somebody's clock. That was many, many years ago. Okay. Well, what happened was, because I'm that kind of a person, I was really an unemployable person. So when I found the home-based business arena, I knew this was for me. All I had to do was find the right avenue and somebody that could teach me the right things. And that's what I was looking for. And that individual happened to know that. And so they put me in touch with this person who happened to be the owner of this company. And what that guy has done, what he did is, I'll never forget when he called me. He called me and they introduced me, and they do all the identification, all the different things that you do on a proper three-way, because three-ways are the key. I don't care what anybody says. A three-way phone call set up properly is probably the most dynamic skill you'll ever learn in the home-based business arena. Regardless of what they teach you about the online stuff, I'll go into that later. But this is in 1996 or so that I learned this. Actually, it was 1995 when I learned it. There's a plaque in my back of the wall up here. There's several of them on my office that we've taken out. The top parts of all them companies with it. And I'll never forget it, because he gets me on the phone. And he goes, hey, so Dave, let me ask you a couple questions after we made little things and everything. Don't pay attention here, because this is the first real nugget you're going to get here tonight. He says, so Dave, tell me what it is you want. So I'm going to ask you tonight, what is it that you want? See, and it doesn't matter about the company, but I want you to get into this, because if you don't get this and you don't answer this for you, I don't care where you're at right now in any company, you can forget it, because you're never going to achieve where you want to go. And you're going to follow me with this, and you'll start to get it. And you can debate it all you want, but I'm going to prove to you how it's worked over and over and over again. Okay? He said, well, dude, it's real simple, man. I'm going to get rich. I want to get rich. This is unbelievable. I can get rich. And he says, well, that's great, Dave. And I was so proud of myself, because we had a speakerphone back then, and back then that was a big deal. And I remember looking at my wife at the time, and he says to me, we had him on speakerphone, and he says, I want you to tell me what rich means to you. And I went, wow. And I remember looking at my wife at that time. I said, man, that guy just punched me in the face. I didn't like it. He slapped me. I didn't know what rich was. And I never figured it out for about 9 years later why he did this. Second clue that you just got here tonight. Okay? He wanted me to identify rich. And so I did. And I said, well, dude, man, if I could ever just earn $5,000 a month, boy, I'd be rich. Okay? And he says, well, that's great. He says, what are you earning now? And of course, it was in the middle of the winter, and I'm working construction, and I'm running my own crew, and I averaged about $2,800 to $3,200 a month after taxes, take-home insurance, all that other type of stuff, paying my guys, everything, unless we closed a house or a big job or something. And he says, okay. He says, what kind of I told him, I said, well, about $3,200, but of course it was wintertime, and anybody that knows, being in Pennsylvania at that time, construction's not really going on that good right after Christmas or any of that, right? And so I said to him, I said, about 33 grand, 3,200. And he says, okay. He says, I want to ask you something. Are you willing to work as hard as you do right now at your job? Are you willing to work as hard as you do to double your income? What kind of effort are you willing to put in? I was like, wow. Never thought about it like that. He says, I'm going to ask you again, are you willing to work that hard? You know how hard you're working to make $3,000. You're looking for to double your income to be rich. I need to know what kind of commitment you're looking for. And he shut up. And it made me answer that question. And that's what you need to do with your individuals. Clue number 3. Okay? Identify what you want. But first, you need to do this with you. Because if you don't do this with you, you have no right to ask anybody in your business any of these questions. Okay? So remember, you need to get this. Because when you get this discipline down, the gates will open for you like you've never had anything ever open for you ever in your life. I promise you this. I promise you. So I said, dude, if you're serious, I'm willing to commit with you and I'm all in and I'll do it. And he gave me a plan of action. And to this day, I still call them 90-day plan of actions. And what that is an all-out 90-day effort of really learning new disciplines, so it creates a habit that you'll go on and develop success. But I didn't understand that at first. I just said, okay, I'm willing to go do it. Well, I never forgot it, but at that time, we got a plan, and I ended up leaving my family. I got in a pickup truck, and I drove to Detroit, Michigan, and I met with another guy that met with me, and we were going to do a 90-day plan of action. Now, guys, I had no idea at this time that I was rebuilding a company at that time that had already blown up and was redoing. I was their new kid on the block. I had no idea of this at all at this time when I was doing this. We got to Detroit, and he worked with me day in, day out. And I'll never forget it because that particular marketing plan paid in a 30-day interval, not like it does today in a weekly, and it paid in not near like the incomes that we are here with today, okay? And I'll never forget it. So we started in doing a daily method of operation, which consisted of a lot of things. But I want to go back and get these nuggets because these nuggets are important for you. He made me identify what I wanted. And what I wanted was freedom and lifestyle for my family and for myself, okay? And at that time, it was $5,000 a month. A lot of people sit here tonight and say, I don't care about money. I don't care about getting rich. I don't care about any of that. You're lying. You're lying to yourself, okay? Because you're not doing home-based business for your love. You're doing it to make money. Okay? Face it. We all do this to make money. We love what we do, but we really want to make money. And we really want freedom, flexibility, and lifestyle. And if you don't, you might want to rethink something. And I'll be honest, you'll be the first individual that I've met in the last 25 years that really is just doing it for love. Okay? Now, you say that when you don't have a plan, you don't know what you want, okay, and you have no direction of where you're going to go. That's the individual that says that, okay? So real clear that you understand this with you, because I'm going to break it down easier for you. It's like walking into your restaurant, walking in and the waiter sets you down and they bring you a menu and say, I don't need that. I don't care. Just bring me anything. I'll take whatever you got. You want a steak, you want it medium rare, you want a loaded stuffed potato, you want asparagus instead of broccoli. You're starting to get my drift, okay, on identifying what you want. And I mean get specific with that. You know, a lot of people say write it down, get goals, do that. You're talking with a high school dropout here, okay? I didn't do any of that. Didn't even know any of that at the beginning and didn't do anything. I just knew I needed that kind of income because what it would do for my wife, myself, and my 2 boys, okay? And I'll never forget it. So we started working, and every day he gave us things to do. And I'll never forget it. And there were certain things that we had to do, and there were certain things I just didn't do, and it was okay, but he was always checking in, and we were doing this. Now, at the end of my first 30 days, I'll never forget it, because we had earned a little over $3,000 in our first month, something like $3,500 in our first month and change. And he called me on about the 35th day, and obviously I was excited, but we didn't talk much about it. We kept working, and he knew that I was excited, but we kept working. We got to the end of the first 60 days, and I'll never, ever forget it, because we had earned like almost $6,000. It was like $5,900 and something and change. And I'll never, ever forget it, because he says, Dave, it's time for us to readjust your goals. And I'm like, yeah, no kidding. I was so excited. I'm like, yeah, baby, yeah. And he says, this is what we're going to do. We're going to wash, rinse, repeat what you just did. Now, we went on and we did that. And needless to say, at the end of my 90-day plan, I'd forever changed my life. And I was on to the next 90-day plan. And I've been on 90-day plans for a long time. And under individuals that know me, and they know me with G1E, they know I committed to 12 90-day plans, 3 years of 90-day plans of action. And I'll share with you what those plans were a little later. But let's keep it on with you first. He did that, and I'll never forget it. And we went on, and I became number 5 in that company in less than a year. I was the top team in that whole thing. And it was one of them companies that we really couldn't get past the guys at the top, because it was a breakaway type individual plan, all that other stuff. But then it imploded, and that was okay. And we went on to build a couple other ones. And I took those disciplines to learn how to identify with people. So when I find somebody that's willing, that really gets excited about our business, what I do is I grab them, like I did Elijah that night at the party, and I pulled him aside. And I asked him what he really wanted. And man, he was mad. He wouldn't even hold my check. He was mad. I want that. He says, I want that. This guy wanted that, okay? Not that any of you don't. I know there's going to be a lot of people that do. But he was opening up to me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna push this guy as far as I can push him. As far as he's going to let me push him, we're going to keep running the lane. Sort of like driving the 405. And I'm a New England driver, and I love the 405 because California drivers are aggressive. They love to push. My wife likes space cushion. You can't get space cushion on the 405, okay? I loved it, okay? What happens is I would change lanes and move with everyone. Well, that's how you want to handle you with your plan. You need to identify with you. Let's get inside you, what you want. Once you know what that is, that's good. That's only important for you. Nobody else, except for your sponsor or somebody like me that's going to ask you for what it is. Because, see, I need to know what it is you're striving for so I can not only help you get there, but then help you get to the next level. That's what we're doing now. That's why we're doing this training. You guys a lot of you are ready for that next level. You're at that excited level, that puppy dog level. You've got everything going on for you, and you want to know what's going on. I know Michael's done it. Joshua shared with me. There's lots of people who share with me, and you're ready for this level. And once you get this, and you start to focus, you're going to understand what I'm talking about when I always talk about the bird doo-doo on somebody's windshield, okay? Because so many people will go down the road, and I want you to think about this, and let's just use the 405, the Pacific Coast Highway, or any way you want to think about. But I always like the seagulls because they always do the biggest bird droppings, and I want you to think about it. You're driving down that road, and all of a sudden you're with your wife, and a bird just drops a big one on your windshield. I mean a big one, and you always know it goes right in front of you, right? It's never off to your wife's side or whatever. It's always in front of you. And the first thing you do is you hit the windshield wiper. And you forgot to put windshield wash in the washer. So you can imagine what we're looking at right now, right? I'm going to ask you, how long do you think you would drive your car on that highway without pulling over and finding something to clear that windshield? I promise you, if you ever drove in California, it's not going to be very long. You're going to pull over as fast as you can, and you're going to use the sleeve of your shirt if you have to, your sock, whatever it is, you're going to find something to clean that windshield. But isn't it funny when we're in our home-based business that we allow all that bird doo-doo to drop over our face and over our windshield, and the grass looks greener here, this looks here, what about this, what about that? Isn't that kind of funny? Well, that's called bird doo-doo. See, because if you focus on your business, you're going to really start to propel here at a speed that you won't be able to control. Here's what happens. In the home-based business arena, we get paid for sales. Whether you like it or not, that's what we get paid for. Not customer service. Not any of that, okay? That's why companies hire customer service reps. That's why they do this. That's why you'll always see me never get entangled in drama. You'll never see me get involved in an employee's job that somebody else is getting paid to do for me so I can propel business, which is sales. And that's what you do in the home-based business arena. So many people get caught up because they're not clear. They didn't get clear with themselves yet on their plan of action for what they want with their family. So they're letting this all clog them up. I've got to learn this. I've got to get ready to do this. I got to get my business cards ready. Oh, I got to learn this product. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Oh, I've got to learn this question. I've got to help so-and-so. I've got to help this. No, you don't have to do anything. Here's what you need to do. You need to help yourself. And when you help yourself, this is when your business is going to grow a set of legs that only you will ever experience. And once you do, I promise you, you will teach this to your people like you'll never ever see anything else ever before. See, because when you understand how we make money, and whatever program you're in and whatever you're doing, that's what you need to learn to do. Because see, for me that made that money in that first 60 days, I didn't have a group. I didn't have anybody. I had to learn disciplines for me on what to do. And that was to sell product and expose people to the business. And that's what I did. I brought them. I wasn't good on the phone. I wasn't good at anything. The meetings, all I did was point and guide and direct, get people to show up at these big meetings. That's all I did. I let somebody else do all the work. All I had to do was get them there and let somebody else do the job. I didn't have to do anything. Back then, we didn't have Hangouts. Back then, we didn't have any of the stuff we've got today. Okay? I loved three-ways because all I had to do was get them on the phone, identify with that individual what they wanted, find out what they wanted, and if I could get them to answer a couple questions, all I had to do was tell my sponsor that I was working with, my mentor, what they wanted, and that was the green lights for us to go punch buttons, and so we could accelerate. So all I had to do was click the button, introduce them, and say, let me tell you about Joe, and Joe's looking for this, and, you know, here, meet my buddy John, and whatever, and boom, and I'd turn it over, and I'd let it go. And of course, I would tell him what John was doing or whatever, and it was Jim at the time, and Jim had gone and set records all over the industry, and so obviously they were going to listen to him. And Jim would tell everybody, you know, I was his best student, and we were putting into applications, so he made me look good by me just bringing these people to him. And then what he would do is he would help point, guide, and direct those people to do what I was doing. So in the first 60 days, I was learning to sell product. And how I could sell product was I rip it open. Here we don't even have to do that with G1E. All we have to do is share our product with a demo and show people what we've got going on and do it. But it's how you do it that's going to set you up to win. Okay? And you need to learn this. And any company that you do. How do I make money? How do I take care of my initial needs today? See, because once you identify what it is you want, and everybody, it seems funny because everybody wants that infamous $10,000 a month. I'm sure if I could get a raise of hands, everybody wants that. And I say, great, how much are you making? Nobody wants to answer the question. And the real answer is probably about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. That's the real answer of average Americans, okay? So it's okay. And if you're a little higher than that, it's probably just where you're at. But that's the average. And here's what they do for that money. They get up when they don't want to get up. They do what they don't want to do. They wear what they don't want to wear. They're not happy. They don't have flexibility and freedom. And they've bitten into whatever responsibility they're employed by to live without enough. And they okay it by cashing that check every week. Okay? So when you learn to employ yourself, this is where the magic comes. When you're in a home-based business, what do I need to make money for me today? How much am I going to need to replace my job? How much do I need? So you're going to need to add up all your bills, all your everything, and figure out what it is you need. And that's our first target. See, the first target with anybody is to teach them how to make a Ben Franklin, a $100 bill. That's right. It takes 5 20s to make 100. Remember, I'm a dropout, okay? But a Ben Franklin's a big deal because I got brothers that work, all week for about 6 of them Ben Franklins, and they work a lot of hours, okay? So you need to really understand the power of the first $100. And I always ask people to say, let me ask you something. You've been in a bunch of these companies. How much have you ever made? Let's really break it down. Let's get into you. Let's find out what you've made. How much have you really made? And as I get them to really break their wall down and become honest with themselves, you're going to find out a lot of them don't even get taught how to make $100, much less 500. See, because once you get them to 100, your job's to walk them to 500. And if you don't believe me, I want you to go back into our YouTubes and go back over this because there's something magical that happened with Elijah and Lindy. See, they had a dream, and I'm using them as an example because they let me work with them. And he didn't know that I was implementing this plan till probably tonight. He's probably figuring it out because that's the way it's supposed to work. It was disciplines from where he was devastated, broke, life tragedies, everything going on, and I got him to totally zone as much as he could out for humanly possible and to start focusing on money. But he will tell you for his first 6 weeks, I believe it was, he didn't. That's right. He didn't make money. And that's when we had our first real good heart-to-heart talk. And we did this on an interview on one of the Hangouts, and you can look it up. And you really want to get him into this because this was the turning point for him. And I'll never forget it because he made his first couple $1,000. And he was excited. Then we went into Anaheim, and I'll never forget it. And I think it was right around Christmas time, and it was at $3,000 or something, $3,400. And he was all excited, and Christmas was going to be great for the Janix, you know what I mean? And I had all this groups there, and it was unbelievable. Well, what happened was I kept walking him up the ladder because he wants to make the 100,000. But as he approached that 6-figure mark, he will let you know, and anybody that's following us with him knows I'm now grooming him for the next 7-figure earner, and possibly could be the youngest 7-figure earner. But it's not by accident. See, he's been following a plan, and I don't even know if he realizes it till tonight, okay? But this is how you employ yourself, and then once you can employ yourself and learn these disciplines, you've earned the right to help other people, and that is the key. Until then, you really don't have that right. You don't have that right at all. See, because the minute you make your first $100, you're going to pound your chest. You're going to be so excited. You're going to get to 500, you're going to pound your chest. You're going to get to $1,000, and you're going to, and you get to 5,000, you're going off the wall, okay? Let me tell you something. G1E, when you get to 5,000, 10,000's coming pretty automatically. And the way we've got it laid out now and what we're getting ready to implement here in Vegas, it's going to be off the chart, okay, with what's getting ready to go down. It's going to be incredible. But if you aren't doing any of what I just shared with you, you're probably not going to capitalize on it. You might think you will. But here's what I'm going to ask everybody, a serious question. And I'll never forget when my mentor asked me this. He says, Dave, would you follow you? Boy, that was heavy. That was called resolve. Resolve's pretty heavy. At that time, I wouldn't have followed me. And now, to be honest, whenever I join a company, I don't really care. I don't want to follow anybody because I like to lead, follow, or get out of the way. You can see that in the back on my wall up there, because the scenery never changes unless you're the lead dog. Okay, and you want to strive for that because the speed of your team will always run at the speed that you run at. Okay, and they're only going to follow you on what you go do. Okay. So you want to break that down, and I tell people, don't fake it to make it. Don't do it. Don't lie to yourself, because if you get caught in lies, there's no easy way out, and you're always going to get caught. See, so just become real with yourself, get into you, and become you. Answer these questions up here. Get a real plan for you. Start making a few clicks so you can get on track. Your windshield becomes cleaner. No more doo-doo, and you learn to stay focused. And if you can do that for 90 days and an all-out massive action, and that is basically, the 90 days is basically doing what we teach all the time, 5 new exposures a day, or 5 new 3-ways, and how you do that 3-way is the most important thing. See, because most new people will get involved and they think they know what they're going to say. They think they know what they're going to go tell people. And to be honest, they screw it all up. They always do, okay? And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that's human nature. So what you want to do is, that's why we always share with people to use us to help you, because once we do about 5 of these calls with you, you're going to find out there's nothing magical that we do. But it's repetitive, and repetition is the mother of skill. And until you learn that, you're missing the boat. Remember that. Repetition is the mother of skill. Okay? When you learn that, your life's going to forever change. And for things to change, you've got to change, my friend. You have to change. And for things to get better, you definitely have to get better. And if you don't, guess what's in store for you? Not much. About the same of what you got. Okay? It's a reality. It's a real life. And that's the real bottom line. Now, what you want to do is, once you identify what you want, and I don't tell people write it all down in goals. You don't paste them all over the walls. But it is good to do that. And actually, my plan of action has been locked in stone. Those that know me know that I did it on January 1st. I made it rock solid, a commitment to the team on what we wanted to do. But here's what I'm going to share with you. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay? So get clear, identify with you, and then I can help you, or we can help you, or you can help yourself identify with people on your team, and then they'll want what you want. See, they'll feel it. You feel it from here. You know, people always tell me, Dave, you're so excited. No, here's what it is. I believe. See, I've got it in here. You couldn't sway me any which way or anything, okay? 'Cause I'm not a jumper guy. I'm not any of that, okay? I'm going to build like there's no tomorrow, and I'm going to build the biggest team that we possibly can, the fastest growing, and I want to help more people achieve more dreams than they ever done ever in their life. Because if I was only in it for the money, I'd quit, okay? I'm not in it for the money. I love what I do. Remember, I'm a high school dropout from a little hick town where my own family, you know, it's kind of funny. I'll share something with you, you know. Until I met my wife today, Farah, you know, I grew up in a family, and most families, I think, are like this. They don't want you to become successful. They really don't. They want to see you fail. So, you know, it's kind of funny. excuse me, they'll say, oh, you got lucky or you got this, and we've done really well in the industry, but it's here's the thing, never ever have we ever done what we're doing right now today, ever. And here's the key. I can't do this without you. We need you. That's why I'm giving you these nuggets. That's why I'm giving you these disciplines. They're disciplines which will turn into gold nuggets for you. Okay? Only if you apply them. You need to really pay attention to what I was saying there. Never mind about me. Don't listen to me. Just take what I'm saying and put it into application. It will start to make sense. Because, see, if you can't tell yourself what you want, how can you look at your wife and tell her what you want? Okay, you might have sold her into getting married. You might have sold her. You might have been a good salesperson to get there. But are you living where you want to live? Are you doing what you want to do? See, that's the key, okay? And then you're going to find out, and I grew through these phases, and this is where it really becomes good, because as you go through these money phases, and when I was young, believe me, you lose sight of making that money, and you think you're King Kong then, and you forget about the other people. Luckily, I've been through that, and today I'm nowhere about that, because it isn't about the money. The money's only a measuring stick for me on how many people I can help go get there. But in your case, if you're trying to get there, that's not the case. But what we'll never ever do is lose sight of how you got there, because that's the most important part. And that's why I'm sharing this stuff with you tonight, because you're ready to rise up. Some of you are going to get this. If only one gets this tonight, my job has been complete. What if a few more than one gets this tonight? I'll know, because they'll come find me out. And they're going to let me know if they liked it or they hated it. And I don't have to ask for it, because they're going to do it. Because they're going to go, nobody ever shared that with me. My dad never shared this with me. My dad still doesn't get what I do. Okay? They're never going to get what I do. Guess what? 'Cause I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to drink the water. Most people are looking at the glass, half empty, half full. I don't care. I'm drinking it. I'm done. I'm gone. Okay? I'm going to do that. And when I know when we got something like G1E, what we've got our hands on right now, guys, if you don't see this, I really don't know what you'll ever see in any other home-based business on what we're getting ready to, especially after we get done with Vegas. Because when we come out of Vegas, baby, it's a total package. But the package is useless to you unless you get you straight, and then your team will start to arrive. And they'll arrive by wanting to be there, and they'll know that you have a plan for them down the road, no different than you have for yourself. See, and that was been our plan from the first day. And January 1st, I don't know if any of you know this, but you can go back and find it on our YouTubes, okay? I made a commitment that I was going to have, I wanted to help 1,000 families earn $10,000 a month in the year 2014. Here we are. We're into August. We're going into August. We're about halfway through. We have a great bite on that. I'm going to let you know that what's going to happen is it's getting ready to explode. I believe that we'll surpass that with everything that's going to go on in this fall quarter. Because the home-based business arena is kind of funny. In the fall, there's something magical about the fall quarter. The fall quarter, the kids go back to school. Everybody knows Christmas is closing in, and everybody needs to make money, and they want to do something. But you need to know that if you don't have this clear with you, how can you get them there? So they're probably going to run all over the place unless you show them clarity of the focus on where we got to go. And all you have to do is share with them via Hangout, via meetings, via three-way, however it is that you want to know. You guys got these cool phones that do the sign language. You've got all these cool stuff. okay, that can work. And this can help you perpetuate your business like you've never, ever seen, ever before. And, you know, those nuggets right there tonight, guys, have been totally life-changing for not only me, for now thousands of others that have gone and applied them. And I always give commencement to my mentor. He's gone on and trained thousands. You know, I'm not doing too bad. We've got a lot of people that grasp it. Some don't. That's okay. And some of you might not like what I say, and that's okay. I'm not offended. I'm really not. Here's what I know. This is how this high school dropout changed his life, with a plan of action, a commitment, and at that time it was 90-day intervals. And them 90-day intervals have not stopped. And I'll just share with you, those 90-day intervals was responsible and for us with a heavy six-figure income in the first 90 days. Okay? Real heavy in the next 6 months in. And on the 7th month, we had broke the 7-figure deal. Okay? We're not going into it. We're going into 2 double digits now on something that I couldn't even believe. And that's because there's magic with what we have here tonight. What you have, for those that are involved with G1E, we've got magic. There's nobody earned incomes like what we've got ever in the industry with what we have. And with the total package now that's getting ready to wrap all together, I can promise you this. The #1 income earner has not been made yet with G1E. Really hasn't. And I say that all the time, and I say that sincerely, because there's going to be people that are going to come in, just like I did when I was rebuilding that company, and that particular plan I couldn't go above. This one you can, okay? This one you can, and there will be, okay, where they're going to accelerate on such a level that's just going to cash in on all the company momentum, everything that we've got going on, and they're going to have this method of operation working for them, knowing what they want, identifying with them with themselves, helping themselves go get what they need to take care of them and their family, okay? Because if you don't take care of the family first, it's not very easy to build one of these businesses if you're always fighting with your other spouse, your other or whatever. For those couples that are in total unity, working a home-based business, it's a major plus. Not all of them are like that, because a lot of people have made bad decisions, and their partner's not with them because they've never learned how to make money. When you can teach somebody how to follow the steps that I laid out with you at the beginning, the 100, the 500, the 1,000. Let me share something with you. An extra $1,000 is a big deal for somebody if they've never made any money in the home-based business arena. 500 is. And I tell them, go buy your wife something. If you're not in unity, go do it. Go take and do something with your wife. Do something special. Because if you want to get her involved, that's what you need to do, because she's believed in you, and she isn't bailed out on you. She's still with you. But here's what it is. You need to start treating her like a queen or like a king. If she's the one doing it, you want to do it vice versa. It works both ways, okay? But you want to do that because the home is where the heart is, okay? And when you have that, boy, the flowers go. I don't know about you, but see, I love rose bushes. I love roses. I don't know if you do or not, but roses, I want you to think about the most beautiful rose bush you've ever seen. And they're my grandmother used to do the best. And here's the deal, and I can't grow roses because I just don't take time to weed. And I want you to think about it. Roses hate weeds. They don't grow in weeds. Well, you aren't going to grow in weeds. So if you're around a bunch of weeds, that could be friends, that could be associations, could be a lot of different things, you're probably not going to grow. And the only way a rose bush becomes beautiful is they manicure it. They start understanding clippings and dethorning and everything and getting that bush to just be so beautiful. It's called a plan. They know they need the plan to rosebush to go. No different than a home-based business, guys. Get your eyes wrapped around it. Get your arms wrapped around it for you. Get into it, because when you do, you will set you free. And everybody wants to be a beast, but nobody's willing to do the work to become a beast. Let me share with you. Do it. When you do this, you will thank yourself over and over and over, and your team will start to flourish. And the next thing you know, it becomes magical. People want to join you. And then what will happen is you're going to have distractions when they come in. You're going to have people that aren't going to listen to you, and that's okay. You've got to learn to just leave them alone. You love them. You love them. We love everybody. But I can only work with the ones that want what I'm sharing with you tonight, because I have to keep sifting. It's like a bucket of oysters. You've got to keep sifting through that bucket of oysters to find the pearl. When you find the pearl, what's that pearl worth? You know how beautiful a pearl is. Think about it. That's what each and one of you are that showed up here tonight. You're a pearl, okay? You're the rose. You're the big rose. You're the one. You're hungry for this. I hope this helps. I hope this helps you get clear on exactly what's happening. I'm totally honored that with this. I'm going to try to set something up for us in Vegas. I'm going to be training on this in detail with a lot of other stuff that's going on. But what I've given you here tonight is the glue. It's the glue to you in the home direct sales business. If you don't get this, every top earner that you've ever talked to in the industry has got this. That or they just got lucky and they never were able to do it again because they didn't have this. So I want you to think about this tonight as we close. I want you to think about this. You're in your car and you're trying to come to Jacksonville. And I don't even care if you live in Jacksonville, because just to come across town in Jacksonville is a job. Okay? With no map, no plan of action. You'll get here, but you know when. And you want to get there sooner or later. Okay? No different than home-based business. No different than you. The quicker you can get to see from point A to point B, and seeing that the only way that you're going to get there is right here. Getting clear. Staying focused. Learning, and then you're going to learn to say less, to go fast. And I'm going to teach you that in another whole training that's important, because you need to get this. And for those that get this, and then I will share. I'll share it with you right now anyway. To say less, to go fast is all about this. Somebody gets new in our business, and the first thing they want to do is they think they're going to become. I have a lot of people say, "Dave, I'm your best salesman. I can do anything." Well, when I hear that, I run. Okay, I already said, "Boy, they're going to screw this up. These guys, this is bad news." Okay, and I tell people, look, what you really want to learn to say is this, because in this particular program, we're your partners. See, what you don't understand is I get paid for your success and your failure. And obviously, I don't like to fail. So what you need to understand, if you understand the compensation plan, you notice we didn't get into that at all on the training, because it's not important till you get this. But here's what you need to understand about the next step, is learning what to say and how to say it, and to say it right, and do this. And I'm going to share something with you, and a lot of people are going to get uneasy here because it's going to be unbelievable. But I've got people that are now doing this, and I've been saying it for a long time. And if somebody gets going, I tell them, I say, look, here's what you need to say. First of all, you need to record yourself on everything that you said. Okay? You can do that through free conferencing. You can just get yourself a thing, just like I'm recording this call tonight. You can bet your boots I'll be listening to it. I do it all the time. Would you follow you? Would you buy from you? What am I saying? Because every time when I ask you what you say, I guarantee you're going to lie to me. But if you have it in a recording, there's no lying. And it isn't that I even want to hear the recording, because the minute you push replay, you'll grow. You'll say, oh my gosh, you can see exactly what you're doing. And here's what you want to say, though, when you're getting with people. You're not going to believe what I just found out. I just stumbled across this. I can't believe it. I've just partnered up with the fastest growing team with this company. They've broken every record there is, and they're teaching us how to make money on everything that we already do on the internet. What? What do you mean? Oh, you're not even going to believe it. Here's what I want to do. I just want you to do this, Joe. Take a look at this, and I send them a link. You can do whatever you want. Some people like conference call, whatever. I like to send them a link so they can get their head wrapped around it. And then I send them the link, and I say, look, if you can gravitate to anything that I just said here, I want to hook you up with my partners, and they'll be able to help answer any questions you got. But I just want to make sure it's something for you or not. Fair enough? Boom. Listen to what they say. Send them whatever it is you're going to send them, and then wait to the response. And follow up is the key. Okay? And because a lot of people, if you don't hear back, they probably didn't listen to it. Well, it's probably your presentation to get them to come here, okay? To come listen, okay? And you won't know that till you record yourself. And I'll share a little story with you. You'll find a little humor, because back in the day, it was a cassette player. We didn't have so easy you can do it. I had a lady just do it on Skype the other day. She was doing her UK leads, and she says, I finally did it. And she goes, oh, my God, oh, my God. But it didn't matter. She finally did it, and now she's understanding exactly what I'm talking about. Here's what you want to do. When you record it, you will get it. Because when you play it back, you won't have to play it for me. You'll know what you're saying. You'll know what you're projecting. You'll be able to fix and refine. It's sort of like coming to Jacksonville with a map. You're going to be able to fine-tune things and realize what you're saying is probably too much, because most people do, and they puke all over themselves. Sorry for the language, but that's what you do. And you'll lose the people. And the more you tell them, the more you lose them. See, because people only want to know one thing. What's in it for me? Is it easy? And can I do it? And is it something I'm already doing? And everything we do is. That's the bottom line. And if you go into any more, you deserve to lose the person. You probably will. And from there, we let that take over. And that is how we have become. We've recruited more people than anybody in the company. We've got more interest. We have more anything. We do it by lead by design is what we do. We do everything. I would never tell you to do this if it didn't work. Okay? And when you do this, you will understand why you always see this say less to go fast. But until you get this, you won't even get to say less to go fast. You'll just say, what's this guy talking about? Okay? But when you do this, that is how you're going to get your people. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn that over upline, wherever it is, to whoever's got it going on, so we can create your story. See, because if that person is trained right, they're going to make you look like $1 million when you put them on with them. They're going to let them know that the reason they did that is because they're learning everything and they don't want to screw it up too. Because nobody wants to be in the No Friends Left club. And everybody wants to be on a winning team, don't you? I mean, you want to be on a losing team or winning team? Think about it. You answer the questions yourself, you'll figure it out. Well, that's what you want to do with your people. From there, guys, I'm going to go into a lot of other trainings and other things that we have, but that is what it's all about. And I hope this helps you. It's been an hour. It's been absolutely great. I appreciate you guys. You're absolutely awesome. I really appreciate this technology that Michael's been able to bring us to. I can't wait to see it, actually, with the double screens. I couldn't watch it. I've been too confused. My hat's off. Elijah, I love you. I know that he's taught me, and I wouldn't have wanted anybody else to do my training because I wouldn't have trusted anymore. I know that he said what I said, and I want you guys to know. I want you to come to the top with us. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. If this has helped you, reach out. I'll be happy to do trainings for your groups, your ASL groups, anything that I can do. And believe me, I have a lot more. But it starts here. And if we don't use this, you're not going to grow. I promise you. I can just tell you that you're not going to get your business off the ground running. You're going to come up. You might come up, but you're going to plateau out. And it's because you have nowhere where to go because you haven't figured out the plan of action. The plan of action is your key to success with every business, with everything. Just so you know, the guy that's talking here today had a plan during his first 7 figures in his first year. We achieved that way more. My second year plan of action that we're into now, I've just started my 5th 90-day plan is to earn $3 to $5 million this year, okay? And on year 3, I'm looking for over $15 million. Well, that's our plan. That's what I see. That's what I feel. And I know with the right leadership that comes together and grasp what's going on, we're going to all arrive and we're all going to get to where we want to go. And, you know, money's not everything. You know, I'm about to say something to me, and I'll share this one more thing. Cause I was on the phone with a lady the other day in a foreign country, and she had just retired, and she's working this other company really hard. And I had to share this with people, because I share this with Elijah today, and I share this with a lot of people. Most people live for the month. For the month. They would need to know what they got to have to cover by the month. I want to leave you with this. What if we could help you get to where you want to go, where you never, ever have to worry about the end of the month ever again? Every day, you don't ever got to worry about it. That is what the home-based business is about. That's called true freedom and lifestyle. And I got to tell you something, there's no greater feeling than that. I can't wait to help get you there. I'm looking to help anybody that wants to go. I love you guys. You're totally awesome. And with that, I'm going to sign off. With that, take care, guys. Good night.